Underdog Daily with Badge Bros, Jon and Nez hanging out, Black and Yellow Dog app, platform of the people, Underdog Fantasy, and another amazing weekend there. The only thing hotter than the core right now, the off and on the clock core right now, might be the Masterclass, Nez. I don't know, man. This is getting out of control out here. Winners all over the place, routinely shouting out the Masterclass. It's so cool to see, man. So cool to see.
Jon, I think we messed up.
How so?
It's too cheap. It's too cheap. I mean,
it might be too cheap.
How is it? How many winners is it now? Like, I'm just sitting here like thinking, like, man, you just gave out all this info. You know, we get back to back. We're responsible for over 100K. Yeah, directly. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take direct responsibility for Binks here. By the way. 100K back to back, just in first places alone. Of people who have taken the course. No. Shout out to those guys. Couldn't be happier to see people in the community support us and in turn see success and attribute that to us. Like, that's a great feeling on the real. But congrats to the community, man. Hot streak on all accounts. And it took you to come back to bring the core back, by the way. You being back, got the core back on track. We're hot. The brand's hot, man. Brand's hot. I don't know what else to say.
So the only I might have lied, Nez. The only thing hotter than the brand right now, than the Masterclass right now, might be Chris Mazzone, who had the feat of the weekend, man. Because I'm talking like all-time feats on the platform. I think like Sanjay Rich, 5,000 KX pick'em or 5,000X pick'em, right? Like, that's all-time feat. We talk about the RT 99 leaderboard scoop. We talk about some of the old leaderboard scoops, or we talk about some of the back-to-back night winners, back-to-back hoop night winners. We talk about the chip check all-time winners in terms of we talk about dog bowl stuff. You know, Law's hot dogs with a first and a second in the NBA dog bowl. I can talk about Best Ball Viper, double dog ball qualifier. This ranks up there with those feats, does it not?
I mean, it's definitely, it's almost like its own thing of just like, you will never speed run $1, like 120X, like quicker than this in your life. It just, never will you see this happen again.
It's unbelievable. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, we've been talking about this nonstop, that the fastest fast-tracked way with, I'm not going to say the least amount of effort, just with the least amount of time put in, is to play the dog bowl pick'em to get to Kansas City here. Now, our guy Chris has not made it to Kansas City yet. He's made it into the qualifier. Correct. And now he has to finish top 3 in week 11 to then push himself to the qualifier. But this was truly unbelievable. Us, Pete, Davis, all got tagged in this on Sunday morning, or morning my time, but like literally 15 minutes after kick. And he had nailed the first 3 touchdowns on the slate and just needed Drake London. And then Drake London scores, literally fractions of minutes later after this. So truly unbelievable feat. 129X in the span of like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, to be clear also, we're not like entirely sure that this is the shipper, but we are pretty damn confident that it's the shipper. I can't confirm. Underdog account retweeted it after. Confirm. Did they?
Yeah, Underdog account retweeted it. This week's winner.
Okay, good. I'm glad that they were just like on that immediately, because I was getting a lot of attention. Wow. Well, congrats. Yeah. You made it to the next round. That's what's different about this. Obviously, there's multiple rounds to it, but yeah, unbelievable how quick this was hit. Super sick.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Just an all-time classic, all-time feat on the platform. Had to hit it right off the top. Nez, let's talk about some other feats on the platform. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share one more thing before we do that. All this talk about the Masterclass at the top here, Nez, I want to go ahead and share with the people here that we're making a lesson free this week. We also got a 10% discount. I mean, Nez said it was already too cheap, and he's going to hate what we've done now. We're giving away a lesson and we're giving away 10% off with promo code BADGE at sign up there. So if you guys have not played on, or if you guys have not experienced the masterclass prior to playing on the site and you want to learn, some of the leverages in swaps and how swaps definitively work and how we personally leverage the swap stuff, I'm going to drop that in the chat for everybody there. There's a free lesson in the masterclass. Get a little taste of it. Plenty other community winners, plenty other love for the masterclass here this weekend, Nez, but we got to start with our guests. I don't want to keep them in the hopper too long here. We got 2 Dawg Bowl qualifiers, and then we got the BR champion as well. So a lot of fun stuff here for the winner's circle. We're going to start with the 101 in the Dawg Bowl seats there, or in the Dawg Bowl streets. I know my role here, Nez. Do you want to count it down, or do you want me to count it down?
You got to count down. We're going Dawg Bowl first.
We're going Dawg Bowl first. I got it.
Okay. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Dawg Bowl.
Yo, what's up?
Here we go. Ty, welcome to the program. Nez has to pronounce your screen name because I'm not smart enough to. Nez, please.
This is Tubinus. This is the infamous Tubinus here in the flesh with us digitally. Congratulations, my man. Awesome bank for you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, it was awesome. I was saying to you guys backstage, I had myself quite a day yesterday, eventful. So honestly, this was probably like the least that I've ever sweat a slate like in the past year, 2 years.
Wow.
So obviously happy with the outcome. But yeah, it was just like looking back on it, because I'm a Packers fan. So I stayed up and watched that monstrosity of a game last night. So I was up late last night, and then I was just hanging out with my dad at his house, and I was just sitting there. I was like, man, that was quite the day. So
that's awesome. So let's start from the top. Let's walk it through for the day. Let's walk it through for the week for you. How many Dawg Bowls a week are we trying to get in? We know you're an avid player on the platform. You're always participating in the Discord there. Walk us through the day that took place and what your plan was for Dawg Bowl.
For Dawg Bowl, I think week 1 I was around like 40 or 50. And then I've kind of scaled it up a little bit just because I've had some success in some of the other slates, like that Chargers, Raiders, primetime, whatever, double Monday night. I won the bomb and the fullback dive. So that was a nice little bankroll booster.
Hell yeah! And
then just this past I don't know. Either way, I won another bomb, primetime bomb. So I've had a nice little stimmy to start the year. So
you want to write the primetime section for the masterclass?
Yeah, the Vegas one, the Vegas Chargers one, I luck boxed it so good. I don't know if you remember, there was that fumble exchange between Hampton and Herbert like late in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they charged it to Herbert. And I was in second place, it still would have been sweet. But then they reverted the fumble from Hampton to Herbert. So it bumped me up into first in both contests. So obviously ran insane. Good there.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, because I came on the program after that talking about how I was pissed that should have been on Hampton, not on Herbert. You were the benefactor. Right. There you go.
Yeah, it was me. You're looking at him. So I ran good there. But yeah, this week I did a lot this week. I did 125 this week.
Nice.
Like my biggest stands were Debo. I had a ton of Debo, and Puka was my second most drafted. Wow. And then Genti was my third. So obviously having those three as I think I had like 23% Debo, like 19 Puka, and 17 Genti, something along those lines. So, obviously having those three as your highest three kind of definitely helped get me a couple up at the top.
That's sweet. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the Genti play in particular. I'm going to bring up your lineup here to go alongside it. You also got to tell us about the day. I know we kind of went like different ways there, but I need
to give you the TLDR, but yeah,
I need the TLDR on this day. I'm going to bring up your lineup though. You said, Puka was part of that core of your plan. Genty was part of the plan. Was that just, you just thought he was misrepresented? We talked about it on Wednesday, how it was like the same thesis as AJ Brown this week, where it was like, hey, we were drafting this guy as like a first round pick like a month ago. If we were right then, can't we be right again now? Was it as simple as that, or what was your mindset with it?
It was definitely someone that I thought everyone was kind of giving up on a little bit early, but it was also kind of more of a, not, I guess equal parts, I'd say, roster kind of construction, because how I was in, I'm always in the dog bowls kind of early on and stuff like that. And I basically decided from like right when it dropped that I was going to be like super overweight Puka. Like even though the running backs were all going like in the first round, I was just like, I was Puka 102 every single time. And it just so happened that like through like the first 40-ish dog bowls I did, I literally got 101. So I was like one CMC team, and then I was just like Puka all day.
That's sick.
So obviously, if you're taking Puka in the first round, all those running backs are going off the board. You kind of have to be looking at running back at the next turn. And Genty was there, kind of earlier in the week, and he would, sometimes fall, but towards the end of the week, he was kind of going mid-second, early second. So I think that's kind of how that particular line worked out. And then basically after Genty, I mean, it was kind of a crapshoot after that for running back. And just in my opinion, it kind of seems like, that's how a lot of drafters saw it too.
Yeah, I saw it similarly this week too, where it was like I used ETN as the cutoff, where it was like after ETN for me, it was just kind of like, man, hands up. Another 3 wide receiver build getting home here. Nez, you talked about the Xavier Worthy play. Was this drafted early in the week with that Xavier Worthy like a bit later, or do you not even know?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I assume it was a little bit earlier just because of where Genty went. But I was very 4 p.m. like late. So like I didn't even really know where I stood kind of going into the late games. So But I mean, it could have been. I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, just to give some context there. Pick 22 Genty, 46 Worthy. So even when we got the Worthy like positive news, he didn't move too far off this ADP. You would sometimes see him go like 3-4 turn, but for the most part, he stayed like affordable. But the Genty call early was definitely sharp. He moved like drastic. He was one of the biggest movers that we saw midweek for sure. So that was really nice to get on that early for sure. And then Puka pick 3 too, which he was there now and then.
Well done, my guy. Okay, talk us through, because you had an alarming message in the Discord that started off your day on Sunday saying you were locked out of your account. How does a guy who does 125 dog bowls a week get locked out of his account?
Yeah. So before even that, I had to take my son to hockey. He had hockey this weekend, so I was stopping and getting a coffee before then, and I went to go use my card, and it got declined. I was like, well, that's probably not good. So then I pull up my bank account, I pull up my thing, and someone in Brooklyn got my account for like a solid $1,300 because my wife tried buying some bullshit for something off for one of her coworkers off of our card. So someone in Brooklyn got a nice couple gifts off of us. So that was the first thing that happened. And then the rink is just an old barn, just absolute no service in it. So I was on their Wi-Fi and I fired up like I think it was like one of the flea flickers or something. I had 2 drafts going. I like made 2 picks, and then the Wi-Fi must have just dropped. I don't even know, but that you know how you get the pop up on your phone, like the woof. I'm sure we've all experienced it. So it just went dark. I was like, oh man. So I closed out the app and I opened it back up, and I was just logged out. So I tried to log back in, and I got the thing saying your account's been restricted, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, that's wonderful. So I tried resetting my password like 4 different times, and it kept telling me like it was working. So then I would go to try to log in, and it didn't work. So that's when I put the bat single out for some help in the Discord.
That's fucking hilarious. This is the most relatable story of my life. To be at the rink, doing some sweaty drafts on the sideline and lock your own shit out of your account because I can't remember my password.
Yeah. So then I got a hold of Brett. Brett helped me out. He got me right back in. So I didn't really have that many drafts to do, so I kind of just put the app down for the day. And then I went over to my parents' house later in the day, and my nephew was there. He's only like 3 months old. So he was just, it was probably like 2-3 o'clock. Like the 1 o'clock games were kind of just finishing up, and the late games were going to start. And he was just losing his mind. He was just not about it at all. So Uncle Tyler stepped up to the plate, and we went down in the basement, just me and him. And he just was passed out on me for a solid 3 hours. So I was just sweating the entire thing with a 3-month-old baby on me. I'm texting my wife to keep the beers coming, just keep bringing me beer. So I mean. And honestly, I was watching the Ryder Cup a little bit to it. So I wasn't even watching Red Zone or anything. Normally I am. I was just kind of watching one game, just hanging out there with my nephew. So
that's incredible.
That's very not like what I'm usually got three screens going. I'm usually all the way into the sweat.
Yeah. But, gotta be plugged into the matrix for the game. So I'm with you. But oh my god, that's so funny, dude. Baby on you, beers. Still immaculate vibes. That's still
I trust me. Because my kids were there too, and they were just they were going nuts. You could tell that they were overstimulating the kids, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the easy one and go down to the basement and watch football.
That's right.
Something tells me we're going to get along just fine at the Dog Bowl here, Ty. Something tells me we're going to have some fun together. I like this.
I'm a big puck guy too, John. That was my whole life. I grew up playing hockey too, so I think we're gonna get along just fine.
That's great, man. Well, congratulations, man. Welcome to Kansas City. Have you been to Kansas City before?
No, I have not. Look forward to it. Look forward to meeting all you guys. And thanks for having me.
Any idea on the +1 here? Are you bringing the wife? Are you bringing the
buddy?
What are you thinking?
I'm probably bringing the wife. Although she has me, she tasked me with building one of those wonderful IKEA dressers for the day, and I started that just before then. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced building. Okay. So we'll see. Maybe the +1 might change after that, or maybe I won't even make it to the Dog Bowl. I don't even know, but. We'll see. Good
shit, man. Congratulations again, Ty. Great story. Beautiful lineup. Keep grinding. You gonna shoot for another seat here?
Yeah, I'll probably keep firing them. I probably won't do as many. I like I said, the Puka thing I was kind of big on, and I was kind of afraid of not having 0 CMC. So I was like, man, I got to get a 1-on-1 eventually. So I kept answering a couple more just to get some more shots at it. But yeah, I'll be in there. I already did a couple this morning, and we'll keep firing.
Right on, man. All right. Well, appreciate you coming on, man. Look forward to seeing you in Kansas City. Good luck with the IKEA dresser.
Thanks, guys. And congrats to everyone else who won backstage.
Awesome, bro. Oh man, that was fun. Good real life story, man. We keep playing the hits out here with some good real life stories. Nez, we got 2 more behind here waiting for us. Next one is a Dog Bowl champion, a recurring champion here. You ready?
Yes. I had to make sure I had the right one targeted. Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Steve, my guy, Inthrius, welcome back, my friend. How you doing? Actually, did you come on? I mean, I know we hung out in San Diego together. Did you come on after the Dog Bowl win last time?
No, first time. Long time, first time.
Love it, man. Congrats. And you came prepared, repping the Pirates shirt.
I had to put this on for you. I am not a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, but I went to a game this summer with my dad. So I'm repping this for you, Nez.
Well, that means a lot. I promise. It really gives you a lot of good karma points as well for your future Dog Bowl drafts. So that was smart.
I'll give you one guess whose name is on the back.
What is it from this season?
Yeah, I usually go off the board, but I went chalk with this one.
This is chalk. Is it Reynolds?
No, it's Skeens, dude.
It's Giga Chalk. I scrolled down.
I went mega chalk on this one.
Yeah.
If they had had a Clemente one, I would have done that. But
that would have been sick. Yeah, I wasn't thinking tippy top of the chalk for some reason.
It was him or O'Neal. So
I was half hoping it was a Brian Hayes, and he got traded at the deadline.
No, that guy has cost me so much money. No Key Brian Hayes shirts in this house.
You're preaching to the choir, my man.
Oh man, Idris, man, we know you for a long time now, man, on the platform, grinding multiple sports. I've told a story on the program before, but you were the guy who was sick enough that at the NBA Dog Bowl, after we were done drafting the NBA Dog Bowl on Friday, I guess, or was it? It was Saturday morning that we drafted it. You were begging for a PGA slate from New Me on Friday night. Like that, you were that guy, man. Truly,
gotta have it, man. Gotta have it. I need that screen was so big. We could have fit. I think it was the Arnold Palmer that weekend. We could have got that up there. We could have split screen.
Good stuff, man. Talk me through it, dude. How many entries in the Dog Bowl? Was your experience previous at the Dog Bowl a leading contributor to wanting to get back? What are your thoughts on just Dog Bowl in general?
Oh, 100%. I mean, since it came out 2 years ago, I mean, that's just one of those things, like, you want to chase it, just like the chance to get to go and put, faces to all these names and stuff. So yeah, I mean, 2 years ago, I almost qualified. I actually did. And then I had a Tony Pollard touchdown get overturned when he was like second rounder. He had like 3 points and he got in the end zone and I was there. I think it was the week Crutches qualified. And then I just they overturned it. And I was just like, all right, like maybe next year. Mostly missed it last year because it was filling so early. It got so hot. Like I last year I was doing most of my drafting or like a lot of it on Sunday morning. And I could just never get into Dog Bowls. And then, once I got to NBA last year, like it was a pretty cool experience, so just chasing it again. I max every contest on the main slate. I am terrified of the Dog Bowl. I do about 25 a week. So obviously got a little lucky to get through. So, but.
No, that's awesome, man. I actually didn't realize that you maxed every contest outside of that. Do you do like the afternoon and morning only stuff?
I've tried. I do a decent amount of auto drafting. And I have experimented with the afternoon slate and it has not gone well. Same thing with like the primetime slates. I'm starting to try to like hand draft those because I am so bad at the primetime slate. So everyone can just take my money there. Like, I have no idea what's going on in these 2 or 3 game slates. I'm lost. But
oh, that's good stuff. Clearly not that lost on the main slate though. Here, I will bring up your winning entry here. Second place here, although I did see you hanging on to first for a while there. That QJ to Justin Herbert stack didn't need to be perfect at the quarterback this week when you were perfect damn near everywhere else there. Really nailed it with the 2 running backs there. Our first Bijan sighting here. Genty was a must. You get that skinny stack with no neighbors bring back, which the neighbors, just unfortunately sunk so many of those lineups. Debo, who was one of Ty's targets as well there. And then Dallas Goedert. Love to see it with those 2 touchdowns at the base there. Just thoughts on the lineup. Were these targets of yours for the week? Maybe speak to your overall exposures versus your Dog Bowl exposures. Like, is that something you try and counterbalance when going into things?
Yeah. Big, I'd really try to spread out Dog Bowls, especially because I'm only doing about 25 of them. But like these are all guys, with the exception of Goddard and Debo. Debo I got on earlier in the week when I thought Jaden Daniels was going to play. So I had this is definitely an earlier team. And I drafted most of my actually on Nez's stream Friday night. I was just hanging out, like ripping Dog Bowl after Dog Bowl. So like this is definitely an early week team. I think I maybe have like 1 share of Goddard in every team that I did this week. Just didn't really stick with him, but like everyone else, I mean, Genty was probably my highest owned player on the week. I wasn't in love with the play, but like it just I was trying to get double RB early in Dog Bowl, and by the time like Friday rolled around, like that wasn't really possible. So like this, I kind of lucked out. I think I got Genty at like 21 on this team. So, Yeah, and I liked him better than like Kyron and Bucky, but I still had, a decent amount of those guys too, but in that
Love it,
kind of
man.
range.
Well
But
done.
yeah.
Yeah, well done here. Let's talk about your main slate stuff for a second, just because I'm genuinely curious. Like, do you find yourself being like a more exploitative player and like you just, ape a couple spots? Like when you say Genty was a target for you, like what was your overall percentage of Genty this week?
No, I don't. I used to do that because I didn't pay too much attention to exposures when I started to like have success here, and I've kind of come like full circle on that. I think. Let me pull my stuff up right now. So for the main slate, this is not the 12 teams. I had 334 drafts. And my highest owned ended up being Devontae at 25.4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So I had
like that many teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just try to. I just try to keep giving myself like as many shots at first as I can, on a
makes sense.
on any given slate. Yeah. But I do take like some stands, but I just feel like, when you can get to 25% of a guy, you're still like 50% over like the field on that. I feel like that's like can be pretty solid, but I'll usually go up to 33%, like double the field on stuff. So
Awesome, bro. Yeah. This is a beautifully constructed team here. And also, another just like feather in the cap for like, if you're perfect in isolated spots, you don't have to be perfect in the dog bowl to win. Like just getting 14 was enough from the quarterback position because he lapped the field with a 58% owned 2-touchdown Dallas Goedert in the last round.
Yeah, I think I had like 3 Herbert QJ stacks in the dog bowl, and so like I thought like my Herbert teams were dead, and going into the 4 o'clock. So, but.
Awesome, bro. What was the sweat experience like? Were you honed in on this lineup, or are you just kind of passively watching all the games, flipping back to Ryder Cup and stuff like that yesterday?
Yeah, I was pretty locked into Red Zone yesterday. I'm such a golf sicko that like I barely watched the Ryder Cup because Numi didn't give me any slates. So, like, but I mean, you can't really play DFS for the Ryder Cup. I think they had something unredacted. I didn't even look at it. But no, I was mostly sweating Red Zone yesterday. I felt really good about this week. Like I felt like pretty locked in. And then so like I think going into the 4s, I checked this team out and I saw that I was unblocked with Genty. And I was like pretty high up at that point. I was like, shit, I'm like actually live here. Nice. And then when I got there, I kind of just like I try not to sweat too hard. Like I'll know which teams are kind of near the top, but I try not to look at them because then I just get into this like, Genty score by the end of that game. Genty scoring was kind of like wasn't helping me because everyone behind had Genty, and I was like fading Mahomes really hard. There was like I feel bad for the 6 or 7 people behind me who had some variation of Mahomes stacks who were if Lamar hadn't gone out in the 3rd quarter, I was probably dust. So I kind of lucked out to like run good there. I was watching the ship chasing cast and like Davis was going on about like them getting bringing Mahomes back out because the Chiefs have been so bad, and I was like, no, please go to the backup. Like, So I got lucky there. I faded the Chiefs like piling on. So
love this build, man. Yeah, well done here. Awesome to see. It's. I mean, you've had some good success across multiple sports here, but do you consider football your best game?
I think it's. I would say it is my best game, but it's not my most profitable because it's probably everyone's best game. Like it's so competitive. I have been working like very hard at football the last 2 years, whereas like sports like PGA and NBA have come a little more naturally to me. Whereas like football is just there's so much more intricacy with positional eligibility. So like this is this was actually like winning a dog bowl C last night was probably like my number 1 DFS moment the last few years because like football is something I put a lot of work into. It's I mean, you go through like NBA season and nobody's talking about anything other than you guys doing like dailies, like, it's like, and then you go through football and there's 9,000 fantasy football websites out there, sharing like information. It's just such a competitive space. So this one means a lot for me.
Awesome. Man.
So yeah,
that's
football, best sport, but not my most profitable until maybe now. But
yeah, you had a hell of a week, man. I know somebody said that you duped 4th and 5th, I think, in the Wildcat.
Yeah, and I chopped it last week. So I've been the first 2 weeks were really brutal, and then the last 2 weeks I've run really hot. Like I split the wildcat last week, and then I duped myself, and which I thought I had worked that out in my process. Like I tried very hard not to dupe myself, but apparently no one else was on that team except me. So.
Hey, if you're gonna dupe yourself, why not dupe yourself for 3rd and 4th, huh?
Yeah, I'll take it. I didn't even sweat the wildcats. I was sweating Dawg Bowl. So like I saw that I had a big number there, and I was like, oh, I must have gotten like 1st or 2nd. I looked at it this morning, and I was like, oh, I duped myself. So
good shit.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you. Can you explain the username? What is N3S? Are we saying it right? And where does it come from if you're willing to indulge us?
I will. So technically you guys are saying it the way I say it, but that's not what it means. So I stole this username off a message board when I was in high school. This has been my username since I did like poker, since like back in high school. Like this was my first like online username. My favorite band in high school was Incubus.
Okay.
Nice.
And so the 3 is like the cube symbol in math. So it's in cube us.
Oh,
yeah,
dude, that's wild. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what's your what was like your favorite song of Incubus back in the day? Was it Chalk or were you off the board for?
No, it's gotta be Drive.
It's
no,
dude. I hate
Layup.
that song. That is
no one likes Drive.
Song.
If you
Drive
like
is
Incubus,
not a good song. Thank you, Nez.
No.
That is the correct take.
No.
I gotta shout out my my buddy Mark, who loves this song. Me too. Is probably RUN. That's a great Incubus song.
Are you?
But yeah. So I saw them this summer. They're doing the Morning View tour, so that's like my all-time favorite album, probably. But,
oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that they were still touring.
Yeah, I saw them twice in the last year. They did the Morning View tour twice. So they clearly have no intentions of writing new material anytime soon. So
which is fine.
Yeah, when you're going to the show, I don't want to hear the new stuff.
They haven't made a good record since 2006. So
yeah,
I'm pretty
makes
out
sense.
On them
they peaked. I don't think they expected to be as good as they were. I'm definitely a warm chalk donkey.
I was gonna gift some memberships. Can I control that people talking about Drive can't get them? Or
Chad, come on, man.
Oh, good shit, man. Incubus. Oh my goodness. Well, forever N3S in our hearts, bro. Yeah, I'm not about to pivot my pronunciation, but
that's what I say too. So
yeah.
Awen called me Ineus at the Dawg Bowl, so that was cool at the NBA one.
Oh, good shit. Man, look forward to hanging again. We had a great time in San Diego there. You were so much breath of fresh air to hang out with, man, at the Dawg Bowl. Everybody was getting a little sweaty there in the drafts, and you just had some good chill energy. You actually wore whose Miami jersey did you wear at the Dawg Bowl?
I wore the Jovic jersey.
The Jovic, okay.
The misclick jersey. So
yeah, that was so good.
I'm getting him in some double dribbles if you're in there. He's
okay.
Now.
I like it. Have you considered your attire that you're going to be wearing for Kansas City yet?
Oh man, I got to think about that one. I think I actually had an idea, but I can't remember now. I always like to spice it up a bit.
So
right. I look forward to the non-chalk names, the non-chalk jerseys.
Well, I'm from Massachusetts, but my football team is the Lions. And I've got an autographed J-Bo jersey. So I don't know if I can wear that though.
Dude. Yeah. I need that. That's a grail. I need that. And
I got it at a card show. They had mystery jerseys, and so they had like 10 guys to choose from. And I looked at the whole list, and I was like, this is strictly for fun, but it was all like trash players, other than like Jahmyr Gibbs and J-Mo, and like I'm a J-Mo guy, so I was like. I pulled one and it was J-Mo. So I've been running hot. So
that's so cool, man.
Cool, yeah.
All right, man. We can chat all day, but we got to bring on another winner here. Look forward to hanging out in Kansas City. Congrats again, Steve.
Yeah, guys. Can't wait to see you there.
Love it, bro.
Peace, guys.
See you, bud.
See you, dude.
Another fun one, man. Hit after hit out here, just like Incubus. Yeah, this is he almost we're blowing up his spot here. The fake Jokic is actually a good scrolly F down click in the double dribble right now. Holy,
Maybe. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I gotta work on my double dribble process, but maybe he's good. I don't know.
maybe he's good. All right, we'll get there eventually. Actually, that might be a theme of our show tomorrow. I was thinking baseball tomorrow for our multi-sport show, but the problem is the slate's going to start before our time slot here, Nez.
I
So yeah, we might have to pivot, might have to run extra long today and do a pennant or something like that for the people. Did you end up jumping on last night with Dark Sheep?
I did, yeah. We just drafted pennants for like an hour, kind of talked through different combos of what might work well in terms of like drafting 1 seeds, how to attack the wild cards, things like that. But yeah, Pennant's filling really fast. So
yeah, now that we got the bracket filled out there, Pennant is filling really fast today. Such a great sweat in there for my multi-sport guys. If you did not see that yesterday, the sheep seats, go check out Nez on the sheep seats there with our guy Dark Sheep, who had a number of guests on there. I saw Jay Baconator on there as well. And oh my goodness, the Inthreus, man, the Incubus right now, dropping off 50 Badge Bros memberships. Unbelievable. Going to leave that up on the screen for a second. Man, I mean, what we always say, Nez, never expected, but always appreciated. That's unbelievable. Time to move on to the Battle Royale streets here. Actually, before doing so, sorry, got to cut myself off there. League of Items is always hanging out in the Discord as well and had a heartbreaking 4th place finish or 5th place finish in week 2 or week 3. League of Items here taking down the 3rd seat to the Dog Bowl with a scroll the F down. Hollywood Brown at 9% ownership when everybody was chasing that worthy stuff, maybe drafted a little bit earlier in the week here, was trying to play the other side of that equation. A double stack, our first double stack that has gotten through in the Dog Bowl streets here. No bring back. Kansas City double stack, 2 plays from the Atlanta game there, and then that Genty play that was just absolutely necessary. Unbelievable stuff here. Shout out to League of Items as well, making it to the Dog Bowl.
Yeah, great stuff, man. That was a lot of players that I liked. Once again, so it hurts. It hurts to see, but yeah, congrats to the winners, man. Really great lineups.
All right, Nets, let's do the damn thing here. Our Battle Royale champion, 50K, 50 dimes to our guy. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. Oh, JD, welcome to the program, man. J. Dennis with a number after it. What's the number after it? You're muted, my guy.
Hold on. 22. Lucky number 22. Is the yeah. There you go.
Okay. Why is 22 the lucky number?
Day I was born. Very simple.
Oh, okay.
The 22nd. Yeah.
Love it, man. Big congratulations. 50 dimes. You had a really nice message in the Discord there, citing some love for the DFS Masterclass there. Yeah, walk me through it, man. How's it? Well, how's it feel to be 50 dimes richer here? But yeah, man, how long you been playing on the platform? How many battle royales are you usually doing a week?
Yeah, it feels crazy. Still hasn't sunk in yet. Like I was telling you guys before the show, I was checking my phone every 5 minutes last night once the slate ended, just making sure it was actually in there, it was real. So no, crazy stuff. Yeah, as for how much I play, I want to say I got on the platform 2 years ago, 2023. Started with the best ball stuff. Came from redraft, got into best ball. Started doing some of the dailies, just a few here and there. Last year, kind of upped my volume. I was doing maybe between 50 and 100 main BRs per week, and then mixing in all the other Engage 8, fullback dive, all those other little contests. And then yeah, this year, this was actually my first slate that I've played of this year. I was I was out of the country for the first 3 weeks of the football season, so didn't play at all this entire season so far. This was the first slate. flew back on Monday. Like I said, I got the Masterclass on Tuesday. Went through it Tuesday and Wednesday, and then started drafting on Thursday. And had obviously got pretty lucky.
That's incredible, man. Mad respect. That's so cool. I love that so much. That doesn't play first 3 weeks. And if you're going to play a slate, may as well make it count, right? And just
For
go
sure.
ahead and win 50 dimes there. Beautiful stuff, man. Hey, where were you traveling? Were you work-based stuff, or you were out exploring the world? What was the vibe?
Vacation. It was my girlfriend's birthday, so we took a couple-week trip to Italy. So we were So I didn't watch a snap of football, didn't draft anything, so I came in kind of blind. But I guess it worked out. So have no knowledge. That's the way to win.
That's so good.
I might need to take a page out of that book, man. I think that's my problem. I'm too dialed in right now.
Nez, should we take a little trip to Italy and forget that Genty had 3 bad weeks and that he's still a first-round pick?
I mean, wait a minute. So you went to Italy, came back, Genty goes off. You know, Genty's from Italy? Like
no way.
He spent time in Italy, like in his, I don't know how long he was in Italy.
Uh-huh.
14-year-old Ashton Genty had been in Italy since he was 12. And then he comes to the States. My mind is blown. I mean, it was written in the stars. It had to be.
Oh man, that's so good, JD. Well done, man. That's that connection. Holy shit, the Italy narrative, the Italy travel narrative right now. Wow.
Yeah, Josh has got it. He was military. He was military. So that's where that came from.
That's the Kobe Bryant.
Exactly.
Arc. Yeah. Oh man, so good. Yo, let's talk about it, man. You're talking about, doing the Masterclass and then getting ready for the week that was, what kind of went into your process this week when you were taking the Masterclass? Were you drafting as well, or did you save all the drafting for later in the week there? Oops.
Yeah. So, like I said, I got it on Tuesday night. I think I maybe did a couple of drafts Tuesday and Wednesday as I was taking it, just kind of, putting some stuff that I saw in there and everything. But main drafting days were really Friday and Saturday, a little bit of Thursday. But yeah, I like the later drafting. I'll get in there early some, but I do like the later drafting. So yeah, just I think this one was probably drafted on either Friday or Saturday.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. For the audio listeners here, we got the Mahomes, and then we got the double rookie running back thing with Hampton and Genty, Puka Nacua from the first round there, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who scores 2 touchdowns, and then Tyler Warren, whose usage is so fun when he punches one in from the goal line there, 4th and 1 inside the 3 kind of deal there, punches one in. A little bit of game correlation, but the naked Mahomes quarterback, walk me through that one, man. 36% owned Mahomes in this one as QB6 on the slate. Was that something you were doing last year, or is that because of some of your findings?
Yeah, no, that's a Masterclass special right there. That was I did start like last year, and I know there's been some conversations about the naked quarterback, especially in the main BRs with how huge the field is and everything. I was doing it last year a little bit, but I mean it was with like purely rushing only quarterbacks. Like Anthony Richardson was, I'd throw him in as a naked quarterback, but I wouldn't have considered without the stuff that we found, that you guys found this year, the naked Mahomes. I would have definitely been tempted to stack him with Worthy, with Kelsey. So yeah, that was definitely something new that I've been trying this year, especially with this year, the BR, or this week, the BR being even bigger. Really wanted to, I'd say a big majority of my teams were naked quarterback.
Awesome. Yeah, well said,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, definitely something that we talked about. We did a bunch, and then when I find myself going phone shitter, bro, and I'm clicking around on my phone, I'm not executing enough, right? Like this is what we should be doing, not reverting back to our best ball principles there. So yeah, well done here. Let's talk about like targets for you on the week here. Did you have a big stance on anyone? How do you like to play? Do you like to play somewhat exploitatively with your exposures? What was it this weekend?
Yeah. I don't play, I wouldn't say super exploitively. I want to say 6 or 7 guys between 20 and 30%. Puka was one of them. Puka and Amon-Ra were both my 2 highest drafted receivers. I definitely like early in the week too, when I looked at it and did a few, Puka was at like the 1.5. I was pulling him up even in those. Yeah, you could get some pretty crazy combos with the late Puka, but yeah, no, pulling Puka up. I was taking Amon-Ra a ton in the second, and then I really liked Hampton as well. He was the cover boy for Karane's walkthrough this week, which I read every week, so that was a big stand as well. He was my one of my highest drafted running backs as well. And then yeah, the Genty play, that was one of the ones I think Pete mentioned in his week 4 gems, is like a partial scroll down. I really liked him. Obviously, not having watched football for the first 3 weeks, I didn't see how dysfunctional the Raiders' offense was. So to me, I come back and I see Genty, a first round pick in the last round, and I took him a good bit. And then yeah, obviously the scroll down naked Mahomes, mixed him in with some May, some other naked quarterbacks as well.
Yeah, nice. Well done, man. That's good stuff. Yeah, Genty was my biggest miss of the week. I had 1 share across my 100 lineups. I just gnaw waved it like a donk. That was my biggest miss for a second here. But I loved your stance on Puka, Amon-Ra, and Warren. Those were my 3 highest owned at those positions as well there. The Hampton stuff, man, good reminder, guys, when we're playing like cross-platform and stuff like that. Like Hampton was stone cold chalk on Redacted, and he was like a 3rd-round pick so frequently in our games out here. So just, yeah, some cross-reference.
100% drafted. No one was sleeping.
No, I just mean relative to ADP.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, great pick, obviously, against the Giants, and that showed that explosiveness with that huge run there. The 50% drafted Genty was like just the play of the slate, obviously. And it lined up perfectly with what we have found data wise in terms of like guesstimating a drafted percentage for Genty. So that was awesome. Love the Puka play. Did you have Puka over CMC this week?
I was mixing it in. I was mostly taking CMC 101, but I would occasionally take Puka 101.
Right
on, man.
Yeah, I thought he was just the smash of all smashes, so was definitely grabbing him as much as I could.
Yeah. I had him 101 this week. I think I had like 34% Puka. So that was good for break even on the BR day. But yeah, that was definitely and one that I identified. But clearly, Genty and obviously Mahomes too, being solo owned there. That was well done, man. That was beautiful. Sick lineup.
Thank you.
Love it. JD, what's your plan on the platform going forward here? Are we going to keep grinding these BRs? Are you mainly a football guy? Are you going to take some shots at some dog bowls now? Are you going to stay within the confines of this newfound bankroll? What's the plan?
Yeah, mainly a football guy. I don't really play. I've tried to get into some of the other sports. I just don't have the knowledge about any of those to really do anything in those. So I pretty much stick to football. I'll probably continue to max the main BR every week, all the other side contests. I'll maybe take a look at some of the at the dog bowls now, maybe getting some of those. I haven't done any yet. But yeah, that'd be something fun I got a little ammo now to shoot in those. So yeah, might hop in some dog bowls too.
Love it, man. Yeah, I hope you do so, because it'd be a fun hang in Kansas City, man. Would love to do that. Let's talk about Italy, dude. What favorite spots, favorite things that you did first time overseas?
No, I've been once before. But yeah, first time in a couple of the places we went to. We were in Rome for a while, and then we did the Amalfi Coast for a while.
Nice.
Those are kind of our two main spots. But yeah, no, it's super nice out there. Very fun to kind of just disconnect. Like I said, didn't pay attention to anything, no football, whatever. Just after a whole summer of best ball drafting, it was nice to unplug for a little bit, go over there and had a good time, and then came back and got real lucky. So
come back, trip paid for. Here we go. Maybe we should have been getting those slightly more expensive bottles of red while we were over there.
Yeah, I know. I would have flown first class back if I knew.
That's good shit, man. You've mentioned the best ball thing and that kind of being your gateway to these games. Did you max the BBM? Did you max some of the side contests Did you get some good volume down for the summer there?
Yeah, I maxed pretty much everything this year.
Wow.
Yeah, this I maxed BBM, maxed all the marathon, sprint, weekly winners, all that stuff. I think the only stuff I didn't do was I did everything like $100 and below. I maxed all of those, and then I did maybe one Great Dane or whatever, and that was pretty much it. But maxed all the other contests.
That's
Unbelievable,
awesome.
man. Full-fledged football sicko out here, maxing all that stuff, maxing the VRs and stuff. Glad you found some success, bro. This is incredible stuff. Anything you want to leave the people with and or share with us before leaving?
No, just thanks. Thanks you guys for the shows, for the masterclass. You've got a bunch of testimonials already, but I'd say this is a pretty good one.
I
wouldn't have got to this team without it.
Agree.
Wouldn't have got to this team without it for sure. So
that is good shit. Mad respect, JD. Appreciate you coming on the program. Best of luck with the best ball stuff, and best of luck rest of the season here.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Thanks, JD.
Thanks.
Oh man, dude, 3 for 3 yet again, man. This community keeps showing out. We talk about the community showing out in the lobbies. We talk about the community showing out in the Discord, showing out on stream as well. Going to be some of these pretty faces with some good stories are going to be taking our jobs soon too, Nez.
No way, man. They don't. They're not pretty enough to take our jobs, man. That's like the 101. You gotta look the part. They're not that pretty.
Man.
They're pretty, but come on.
Oh, that's good shit, dude. That's such a good story, man. Coming back from traveling and then just, oh yeah, by the way, Masterclass, and by the way, max the contest and ship. If you guys want to be like JD, I'm going to drop this link in the chat there. You guys can sign up. Free lesson for swaps for the Masterclass. Also, promo code BADGE at sign up there for 10% off if you guys want to join in with that. I'm going to drop that link in the chat one last time. Fully Loaded saying congrats to all the winners, and congrats to Fully Loaded. We talked about it on Friday there, but he took down a Primetime Palooza slate. We'll walk through some of the other community winners in a second here.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw last night. I was like in first for the Primetime Palooza.
Oh,
yeah. Decided to go to bed. Had a long main slate, had a long weekend. It's like, let me just go to bed. I don't even want to sweat this because I just know I was seeing 21K in winnings. Went to bed. 8 minutes left in the game. I'm just gonna take a sleep. I wake up, I'm winning $900.
Oh God, Nez.
That's an L. I took a loss on the slate. I took a loss on the slate.
Dude. Like that game went nuke with 8 minutes left, and then went that game went nuke with 8 minutes left, back and forth scoring. I think there was like 20 something points scored in the last like 8 minutes, and then it goes to overtime, and there's 2 more field goals, and it goes the distance. That's so gross, man.
So glad I didn't stay up for that.
Oh,
I would have. I'm thrilled. I made the smart decision of just knowing where this was headed.
Oh man,
and went to sleep. Yeah. Lost.
Never PTP. Yeah, truly, PTP sweat is unmatched because it is truly sick when it comes down the end. Then, oh shit, that sucks, bro.
That kind of week, man, just really was not the week for the guys. But we're gonna bounce back. We're gonna bounce back, and it starts with the Monday Night Football Palooza. We're not stopping.
No, we're not stopping. That's for damn certain. Zeus asking, is there a promo code for the Solver Draft Assistant? No, man. Just click the link in the description below. It's already cheap enough, especially with the new combo mapping stuff. It's unbelievable. So no promo code for us there. But Ty, who took down the seat and was just on the program, says, forgot to shout out the Solver. Also, if you guys are looking at that leaderboard, we just shouted out the guys at the top here, but we're going to do the community shout outs now. Shout out to the Solver right here. GSD4, one of the makers of the Solver there, was in first for a little bit there too as well. Shout out to Gillian there. So love to see it. Also got a little shout out here from Trevon. He did the scroll the F down after I said Matthew Stafford has no ceiling. Matthew Stafford comes out with 27 points. Actually, to be fair, I said Matthew Stafford's ceiling was 350 and 3, and he probably still wouldn't matter. And he did end up mattering, but 350 and 3 was basically what you needed from him to matter. Love that lineup. Two legends of the community here, Crutches and the Miso Tuna, affectionately known here. Miso Tuna with $1 million takedown. Oh, I lost Nez for a second. Miso Tuna with $1 million takedown on the redacted platform. Then on the other redacted platform, takes down a showdown slate and then comes out here and finishes third. So if you need any more reason for game of skill right there. Shout out to Crutches as well. Real nice payday. Tons of friends up at the top here. Car Parks up here. Hot Sizos, who has punched a ticket to the Dog Bowl in the past there, is up here as well. So mad respect to the community there. Also had a couple tags on the X machine that I want to walk through here on the Badge Bros. We talked about League of Items there. Here's Trevon's lineup there with the Stafford stuff that we just looked at as well. We had the core get home for off and on the clock. That was a really fun one there. And where are my guys at? Matthew, give us a shout out. Where am I looking here? The Slide King, Len Keith, gets the big slider home with the Puka and the AD Mitchell stuff. Shout out to Jack, who was hanging out in the chat. Looks like he had a nice boys weekend there and capped it off with some nice W's in the street there. $1,000 in the hurry up. A beautiful lineup for second place there as well. And then shout out to Josh, man. Josh has been an advocate. He's been around for a long, long time, back in the ship chasing days there, and has been a big advocate for the Masterclass. He's hanging out in the chat right now as well. Takes down the fullback dive here on 5 bullets there. Goddard and Hertz was the skinny stack you needed. That Hertz score mattered so much in the small field there. The double rookie running back, and then those double elite wide receivers. Man, we talked about the paths, Nez, on I guess was often on the clock on Friday there. We talked about the paths of like, hey, these top end running back plays, if they do not get home this week, what would the team look like? And we said it would probably be elite quarterback plus Puka, or it would be the 2 elite wide receivers who were separating on the slate in a decent way, and then you would scroll at the other positions. And that's effectively exactly what ended up winning. And it's why we talk so long about the, we talk so long about the macros of the slate dynamics.
Yeah, I think that was before I joined from my local Starbucks, but you guys nailed that for sure. I was like I said, I was taking Puka 101 all week. I had like 30%, and awesome, I know, but ultimately, just not nearly enough Genty, and which is annoying, which is definitely annoying. I like the spot. I think I was just kind of overthinking it. And thinking that, just because it looks good doesn't mean that it's going to end well. And, just them's the breaks. I think I should have obviously given it way more credence, knowing that the ownership was going to be as low as it was. Like that definitely is something that should have overridden any concerns about being overconfident in the spot. Right. So that was I'm kicking myself for that one.
Yeah, I mean, just another thing with the you don't have to scroll that far narrative, because he was RB11 on the slate, right? Which means, in theory, if everyone was taking 2 running backs on every single team, he'd be drafted 100% of the time in parentheses, right? He's only drafted, 38% of the time, I think was the final number that we saw. 48% of the time was the final number in which we saw. And that's running back 11. So, we're talking about a guy who was a first overall pick, changed his stance. I don't know if you've seen this narrative. Josh and Hayden's stuff on socials there for the Underdog Football Show was retweeting how he changed his stance going into the week. He went back to his college stance for running. I don't know.
Okay, man, who cares? I'm sorry. Come on, dude. It's aura farming.
I love that though. I love these combos. Some love in the chat here. Shout out to Jack. We just saw Jack's lineup there and his boys trip. And then shout out to Josh here. Joshua dropping off 5 Badge Bros memberships after the 5K win. Mad respect. And in agreement with Jack, man, Winner Circle has been epic this season thus far. Nez, although it will pain you to do so, I got a hit on the Primetime Palooza The
Go for
one
it.
that we talked about on Thursday's show there, the Thursday night times Dublin times Sunday Night Football, and send some love to our guy Chris. Shout out to Chris, man. Chris been a longtime supporter of the show and a very good player on this platform. We talked about, setting your swaps, and that is the swaps portion of the masterclass is what is free this week. If you guys are not familiar with how swaps work, get in there, man, because as soon as Jaylen Warren had that Q tag, everybody should have been setting their swaps just in case they didn't wake up on Sunday morning to see that Jaylen Warren was out, and the swap benefits everybody. Only 57% owned, despite the fact that Jaylen Warren was a 100% drafted in these contests. You get this instant leverage with Kenneth Gainwell, and that was the difference on the slate there. Also, with the swaps in the primetime dive, here in particular, Chris and Carpark back at the top. Here, he came in even lower owned. Oh, no, okay, never mind. 48 in this one. I thought, when I originally saw it, I thought it was considerably lower there. But Chris takes down both of those slates last night at the expense of our friend Nez here. But mad respect to another talented player in the community. Nez has nothing to say. All right, we move on to tonight.
Thank you. Rough week, man. Rough week.
Yeah, actually, speaking of rough week, in the interest of full transparency with your boy here, main slate got 100 entries in, took a bath in the bomb, had no sweats anywhere. Basically, exposures I was quite proud of. Played a lot of Amon-Ra, played a lot of Puka, but this 25% neighbors, CMC didn't do anything. I was quite proud of my exposures, but I played all of that Vegas stuff through Brock Bowers and didn't open up my third eye to Genty. So your boy took a bath in this one there. Nez, let's move on. Let's turn the page. No slates off. Let's get out here and flip on over to the beautiful unabated interface and talk about, we got blessed with a 2-gamer on Monday night here. Similar totals in both, my friend. Just thoughts on the macro before we go game by game and talk about some of the plays here, your drafting experience thus far.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst tight end slate I think I've ever seen for a primetime Palooza. And,
sure, yeah.
I think most people are playing it correctly. You're seeing Evan Ingram last for quite a while in these drafts, and I definitely wouldn't chase him up the board. If you need a flex player, I wouldn't take him over like your flex.
Mm-hmm.
I would certainly wait. He does look like the best tight end on the slate, but gosh, he is super live to just like not matter. So I'm definitely, punting tight end. Quarterback, man. Quarterback's interesting as well because Browning, like given the fact that flex is so important here, you can conceivably punt quarterback and be okay, but nobody wants to click Browning. So there's this effect. It's a Browning effect where everybody's running away from Browning and pushing QB so far up the board because they don't want to be left with Jake Browning.
Right.
And that could turn out to be wrong in a big way as well. So those are like the two big things for me.
Yeah, we almost saw it be so wrong on the previous primetime Palooza slate where Carson Wentz goes nuke at the end of the game, ends up with like 300 plus yards passing, and he outscores the winning team in Aaron Rodgers on the other side there because they score via the ground instead. And like Carson Wentz or naked Carson Wentz could have been what you needed if you just win the flex. And given like the fact that the scroll the F down flexes are just so effing thin because A, we're dealing with like super concentrated teams out here, and B, we're dealing with like some Q tags at the back end and stuff to scroll, or some super low volume flex plays at the scroll position there that like, yeah, winning the flex with some of those easy earlier picks and then just trying to match a score with a naked quarterback could definitely be super beneficial on this slate. Well said, Nez. Also, one thing I want to point out is depending where you're looking for resource-wise for projections, but let's just use ETR because they seem to be, kind of gold standard around here. Man, there are some stark differences between ADP and projection. Like Chase Brown projecting for them, so much better than his ADP. They actually like, potentially like Cortland Sutton more than Chase and Garrett Wilson, but both Garrett Wilson and Chase go ahead in our draft games. The running backs are really pushed up in our game, but I've been really liking some of my builds where I get Chase Brown in the 3rd round, and that's my running back play, and I build like a 1-1-3-1, stuff like this. Just things to think about in terms of like balancing projection versus game environment versus ADP right now. Yeah, some interesting stuff here. You talked about the tight end position. Darren Waller expected to make his season debut tonight for the Dolphins. Dolphins have been pretty densely concentrated and in trailing game scripts where we have loved Achane in these trailing game scripts thus far because he's been targeted so greatly. Now that target tree might spread a little bit with the addition of Waller, and they're for the first time this season favored as 2.5-point favorites here with this 44.5. Both games via the unabated line are 44.5 there. Broncos as 7.5-point favorites. Both games outdoors. Both games no real concerns with weather this evening. Just thoughts on the game environments here, Nez.
I think Dolphins and Jets has a chance to be pretty fun.
Okay.
I like the spot for both these teams here. You get the Dolphins at home, which I do think benefits them and their range of outcomes. So that's nice because they do obviously have explosive playmakers there, and it's just a matter of what kind of how did Tua wake up this morning? Is he feeling good? And if so, then maybe we get a good Tua game and some good results out of Miami. And then the Jets get Justin Fields back, which I think is a big deal. I think Justin Fields is a huge deal because I don't think he's a bad thrower, right? Which is good for Garrett Wilson. He's targeted the shit out of Garrett Wilson. He gets Josh Reynolds back. And and the Miami defense stinks. So I think this has a chance to kind of exceed its total. I'm excited to watch this game. I think this is going to be a pretty fun game to watch, if nothing else. It could also just be the ugliest game ever because Miami and the Jets are extremely prone to ugly-ass games. But I think the rose-colored glasses thesis on this game is really easy to paint. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. You talked about how the defense is stunk for Miami. They're also going to be without their number 1 quarterback again there in Storm Duck. Jason Marshall is out as well at the cornerback position, and Ethan Bonner, who's like a backup whatever guy, was out and then a full practice on Saturday there. So you layer on the fact that they're also banged up in the secondary to a bad defense that we've seen get cooked by literally everybody thus far to start the season. Jake Browning has come out absolutely slinging it. He's thrown 5 interceptions in his 1.5 games thus far. Now he gets this, what we presume to be stout Broncos defense there. You talked about the projection difference between him and Tua. Everybody's pushing up the quarterbacks to try and not get him. But if you look at the projection difference, like we're talking fractions of fantasy points in most places across the industry between the two of them. So do you have a large bag of Jake Browning going into this one because of that? Muted, my friend.
Thanks. Sorry, there's some evergreen construction going on outside of my house. The never-ending project next to me. But I actually have a lot of Tua because I have been doing a lot of auto drafting, and 2, it just apparently after I fill my flex, Tua tends to be there, and I like Tua's ceiling on this slate. My second drafted quarterback is Jake Browning at 20% though. So that checks out. It's like 60% either Tua or Browning, 20% Fields, 16% Bo Nix. So Bo Nix will, I think, most definitely end up as my lowest drafted QB on the slate.
Yeah, there's this really interesting dynamic on the slate where like the 2 guys you want to stack most are the 2 lowest priced quarterbacks where their flex positions go before, and they're like the cleanest path stacking partner ones. Like for the Bengals, it's like we're drafting 3 dudes and then maybe Mike Gesicki if you're left holding the bag at tight end, despite the fact that, Noah Fant's out this evening and he projects better than most of the other tight ends on the slate, despite being tight end 4 on our site right now. So like you have these really, really clean stacking outs for the last 2 quarterbacks that go, whereas like the guys that you don't necessarily want to stack or need to stack Justin Fields in particular, because he does so much via the ground, are the guys who are going beforehand. So I don't know, man. I just think about it as a macro funneling of builds that, like, if you play Browning or Tua naked, you're instantly so different than the field. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily how you unlock ceiling on this slate. It's just like a differentiating tactic here, which is weird because like everyone's builds are looking very similar right now. How do you feel about that?
Like I said, man, it's been like mostly auto drafting and otherwise like eyes on my own paper type of stuff where I'm not really noticing what other people are drafting. I just know, I know what I'm targeting. And yeah, I mean, for me, I think if you just want me to like kind of talk about like different flex targets that I really like, I think Tyreek Hill is just like way underpriced. And yeah, I'm honestly like pretty surprised that he's fourth in the hierarchy here. Definitely surprised Wilson's first, but I think people really like the matchup, and I get it. I think Wilson, you know, ETR obviously does a good job, and I understand why they project Wilson where they do. But I think that I would probably prefer Wilson the most out of these guys, just given the spot and given the target share. The target share for Garrett Wilson's absurd. So yeah. I think that it makes a ton of sense that he is. That he's the 101 in term, or the wide receiver 1 here. I think Dobbins and Breece Hall is a conversation though, where I think people are expecting the Broncos to run over the Bengals, literally and figuratively. And thus they think Dobbins will just be like a smash candidate. There's a chance that doesn't happen. There's a chance that the Bengals kind of come through and play better football than what's expected here. And Breece Hall with Justin Fields back against Miami, I think has some consideration of being RB2 here. So I kind of like the Breece Hall ceiling over J.K. Dobbins personally. Dobbins better median, I would say. Like I think we can all agree on that, but I think Breece Hall ceiling is much greater than Dobbins in this spot.
Dude, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And Davis said something on his show earlier that RJ Harvey started last week. I mean, like you don't really put much stock in that, but like they do like RJ Harvey, and they're going to find ways to use him eventually, right? And like they do like to rotate backs. Whereas like, you know, Breece, like it feels pretty concentrated on the Jets side, unless you're just like shooting the moon with like frozen out at running back and you take Braylon Allen in the last round kind of thing, right?
Right. I mean, yeah, if you're froze at running back, it definitely feels super bad. But yeah, Braylon probably makes sense, or even like I guess Ollie. Or I mean, but what's Harvey here? Harvey is RB5.
Yeah,
man, the usage has just been stinky for our guy RJ.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon on the short week last time was better.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think about ways RJ Harvey gives you a good score, and it feels like a blowout. And probably, you know, if you want him to matter, you know, maybe like a pick six, special teams, turnover type of stuff, defensive domination in terms of how RJ Harvey can matter, where other people on the Broncos aren't doing a whole lot fantasy wise.
Okay. Yeah, good shouts there, man. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic and like cautiously bullish on Miami tonight, just in a vacuum, because like these next two games are like must win to keep McDaniels keep his job, in my opinion. Like you get the Jets and the Panthers in the next two games here, I believe, and it's like, okay, you're coming off of a Thursday night where you almost shocked the world against the Bills.
I'm sorry, just give me one. I apologize. Give me a second. I got a text.
Yeah, they come like almost shock the world off of that game versus the Bills. Now you have a 10-day window to prepare, or an extended window to prepare. It's like 9 and a bit there, going Thursday to Monday. Like this is like a bullishly, like slightly optimistic Miami spot for me. And then like a super concentrated Jets spot is kind of like how I'm treating that one. Let's go by the position by position. I did want to bring up when Nez was talking about the Garrett Wilson stuff, despite the fact that he's not projecting like the best, using the gold standard of ETR, but like some other places he's projecting quite decently. It does feel weird to click Garrett Wilson over Jamar Chase. But if you look at the utilization report here on Fantasy Life, Let me show you guys. Like his role is the two guys we just saw in the winning lineup, Puka and Amon-Ra St. Brown there, who just continue to ball the F out. Garrett Wilson is the guy in line with that. And he played one of those games with a backup quarterback. Now he gets college narrative back with Justin Fields. Justin Fields prone to run a little bit, plus just hone in on him. It feels pretty good, man. It feels pretty good. AMAC rolling in to tell us Garrett Wilson 40 piece tonight. Yeah, I mean, like those are some elite company at the top there. Chase not to be outdone here as well, but yeah, those kind of stick out to me. Yeah, Cortland Sutton, like you just night after night after night, like just pencil him in for 680-1 tonight. Like, you know, like that's just like that's what's gonna happen with the exception of 1 week this season here. So yeah, the top end is like pretty cut and dry with these four. Nez alluded to the fact that he likes Tyreek Hill. I think the more interesting question is, are you willing to sacrifice running back to take two of these on a team together at the front end of draft boards?
Am I willing to sacrifice running back?
Yeah,
to
because
take...
of the way ADP sets up. Like, would you rather play the wide receivers tonight?
In terms of like being pick what?
Two. Like if you want to pass on like Dobbins or Hall to just get overweight on one of these wide receivers because you think they're going to score more tonight.
If you could like guarantee yourself Chase Brown comes back.
Yeah.
If you could guarantee yourself that, then yeah, I think that's definitely something to consider.
Yeah, because if you're building off of like projection based mindset, if you miss at HN at the top here, Chase Brown projects according to ETR better than these other guys anyways. So why not put two of these guys together and then Chase comes back, which is effectively what I did in all my early builds this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting thought. Sorry, just to clarify why I had to abruptly leave. We had a spider on the changing table, and there's just no way anybody else was going to get that other than me. I got the text, "Need you real quick, urgent." So I'm like, Jesus, like my kid's arm fall off. Like what happened? Like no, it's just a spider on the changing table.
Need you real quick, urgent has a new standard in this household.
we like tell me like need you real quick, urgent spider is like one. It would be just like would go a long way other than like my heart like beating out of my chest like
right.
Like, my kid's like fingers fell off. It was a big spider. To be fair, it was a big spider.
I love that, man. Texas spiders are different, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was quite a wolf spider, but it was a big guy. And I wanted to catch and release, but there was no time for that.
As we've talked about we've talked about one build type thus far, where it is like win the flex, punt the QB, punt tight end because it doesn't matter, and just like pick a correlated one or pick whack-a-mole with the back end tight end. That is basically one type of build, and it's kind of like how the field is playing this evening. If we want to be the guys who scroll at the flex, even though it's incredibly undesirable in terms of projection this evening, because after you cross this barrier of like Waddle and Higgins, and even you could throw Troy Franklin in there, especially if Marvin Mims is unable to go this evening. He did a no practice, and then a limited practice on Saturday there. So his status up in the air. If you were forced to scroll past this, are we touchdown chasing with some of the backup running backs? Are we, going to like Malik Washington, who we've seen have success in special teams? Where are you going down here?
Yeah, this is definitely not a super enticing range. Kind of just have to like I don't have like a safe bet of like one guy here, but I am interested in Josh Reynolds here stepping up. I think he's going to run a ton of routes. The usage is definitely TBD because you got Garrett Wilson on the field. Justin Fields is going to target Garrett Wilson or run more often than not, but we've known Josh Reynolds to be a professional ass wide receiver in that mold. Definitely the wide receiver 2 here in a big way. We saw Tyler Johnson get work, so like I'm sure Josh Reynolds will be involved somewhat. Ollie's usage, I don't really know what to make of. I think he's earning a little bit more trust to spell Achan, but would it surprise me if it's Jalen Wright, kind of spelling him instead? Not really. Just kind of piss everybody off. Can you hear the noise by the way outside?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Fuck my life. Yeah. I think it's mostly like when I open the mic when I talk. I don't know if it'll and then Braylon definitely is still getting work. So you're touchdown hunting with Braylon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts there? The only other thing I would say is like Pat Bryant Pat Bryant's kind of fun if you take Mims and Mims sits and then you swap to Pat Bryant, knowing that there's a lot more routes available for him. I think that's like a fun angle, but that's like swap only.
Right. Yeah. Like I think taking Mims right now in the last round with the Q tag and then swapping to Sherfield or Pat Bryant would be the move. Sherfield just kind of like some empty stats here. Hasn't done much with it. He has like one catch in each of the games there. Pat Bryant is playing like the big body upside, idea that they finally use the rookie. But yeah, it's kind of gross, man. Like Troy Franklin's getting like a decent amount of love on this slate, and I guess rightfully so.
I love Troy Franklin. I think Troy Franklin's an excellent pick. Like he's going to be 100% drafted, and I think he should be. Just kind of like seems like it's either him or Sutton so far early in the season. Mm-hmm. But Franklin's good, man. It's just like, will they be pushed? The game script is a little hard to envision a Franklin game, but Franklin's good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Obviously dealt without Ingram last week there. Evan Ingram comes back into the fold this week. Darren Waller, we haven't seen the team with, and he is back in there now. And then Mason Taylor, who had some nice work last week with 6 targets there, but that was with the backup quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, and they were in a trailing script the vast majority of the game there. So just thoughts in general here. Like, is it Mason Taylor breakout week here? Do you have a favorite tight end target? We know that I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? Never mind. I was gonna make a Adam Troutman with New Orleans, like how they've loved him for years, kind of like thing. But I'm blanking on the stat that I saw earlier in terms of snaps and stuff like that. But anyways, let's talk about the tight end position, because if you look at the projection models, man, it's going to look very different than the rankings in terms of ADP here, much like the front end of draft board projections versus draft board. So thoughts on the tight end position?
Not a lot, man. Not a lot. I think Evan Ingram is the best click. After that, I think I prefer Mason Taylor. Okay. Then Gesicki, then Waller. It's Waller's first game back after like a full calendar year plus, unretired, wasn't even healthy enough to play. Him being tight end too. I agree with Nick in the chat. He's like losing his mind, and I fully agree. Like I would take Mason Taylor over Darren Waller every single time. Just seems weird. Yeah. I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you there. Like I think Mason Taylor, Gesicki, and Ingram is kind of like the top end. I think you can make some narratives for like Noah Fant being out, and you could go down to like, high school, or I was going to say high school. I was going to say UW era Drew Sample plus Jake Browning narrative. He got 3 targets last week and scored a touchdown in garbage time there. So I don't know, like Drew Sample as a scroll the F down, Adam Troutman, because they just love to put him on the field and have loved to put him on the field for multiple years here. Tanner Connor scored. Oh, no, he didn't. Who was the guy who scored last week for Miami in the primetime game? Was it Julian Hill? No, never mind. I'm tripping. Is it Malik Washington?
Targets.
Did he score?
He had a couple of targets. Say again?
Didn't know if Malik Washington scored, or were you thinking of a tight end?
I was thinking of a tight end.
Yeah.
I think tight end is like just so gross and so flat that if you happen to encapsulate a touchdown, like kind of like the AJ Barner touchdown on the previous slate there, that if you got one from Drew Sample or you got one from Adam Troutman, and this was an overall low scoring slate, you could break the slate with like that click kind of deal. Because it's really hard for people to differentiate at the flex position right now.
Yeah, I mean, for good reason.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not differentiating unless I'm forced to.
Right. And I think
yeah,
everybody feels that way. Yeah.
What would be, you know, your alternative? Because like even Malik Washington's going to be 100% drafted, man. I mean, what are you to do?
Right. Yeah. All right, let's hop in here and see what it looks like. These things are filling at a rapid pace. We already got a second one up, which is truly sick because I thought this would be one of the people's like least interested slates of the year. But I think just the fact that we have 2 on Monday night together, people really like that. Like, hey, we're going to play it all tonight and then we're going to get it paid out. If these 2 games were stretched out over Monday, Thursday, I don't think the fill rates would be this strong for how ugly a slate this is.
Oh, dude, people just go nuts for the Monday night only primetime Paloozas. I was trying to explain to these guys, like, there's not a lot of these kind of slates, you know? Mm-hmm. These Monday night doubleheaders don't exist very often. And it's the only show in town that locks that you can play and lock on the same night.
Yeah.
People go nuts for them. Like you could make them huge. And yeah, I mean, this is going to fill early and they've got a 50K out. Who knows how early that'll fill? People just love a slate. They love a slate.
People just love a slate. That's so good. We
dude.
rolled the most interesting draft pick on the board in my estimation, because I think it's HN with a bullet and then you could kind of do whatever you want here, Nez. You were Brees over Dobbins. Should we do Brees Hall here?
Yeah. I believe in Brees over right. Dobbins, truly.
Let's do it, man. Also some bullish stuff via the coach speak here. Swish sharing with us in the chat. This was Aaron Glenn's quote on Mason Taylor. We have to get Mason the ball. We have to get Brees Hall the ball. Those guys are good playmakers for us, and we're doing everything we can to make sure we do that. So there's some bullish sentiment for an already concentrated offense to continue to funnel through the premium talent on the Jets.
All right, let's go.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, I like this. Say again.
I was the Wilson Fields tap there. Real quick taps.
Yeah. Chase goes there. Wilson goes. Fields with the mini stack on the end there. Do you like Cortland Sutton or do you like Tyreek Hill this evening?
I like Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Do you like Chase Brown over them?
Not necessarily, but if you do, we can take them.
I think it's close. I like the idea. I like the idea of like clicking Chase Brown there and then clicking whichever wide receiver comes back to me. Because when you have a sharp drafter like Respooked at the end, they rarely click the quarterback. If there was a recreational drafter there, I would have let them just go Nix plus Sutton and then you pick kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you think Bo Nix is a tier break, or are we going to punt the position and try and set up either the Tua double or just try and get T. Higgins demanding the ball a little bit?
I think I'd go Waddle.
All right, we're going to set up the Tua game environment double here. Waddle has scored in back-to-back games there. Yeah. Yeah, did you see the Jamar Chase quotes about T. Higgins? Like how he's just like, he's got to demand the ball or something like that. Like he's like, he wants the ball. He's got to ask for it or whatever.
I believe his words were ask for that motherfucker, I think he said.
It was something like that. Yeah. Pretty hilarious.
It's awesome. Yeah. Jamar Chase on T. Higgins' lack of involvement. Quote, I've always told him, if he wants the ball, go effing ask for it. Just ask for the ball. Just ask for it.
Ask for it, bro. Can there be a squeaky wheel T narrative if the offense is this bad? Yeah, I mean, the nicest thing you can say is at least he's going to be most likely lined up away from Patrick Surtain the majority of the evening.
It's true.
Yeah. Nez, we got the Tua decision here if we want to beat Respooked to it. Or we could take one of the tight ends here. I think it's probably more important for our build to beat him to Tua.
Yeah, I think it's fine to take Tua.
Like I think we can have our choice of a running back too because he's already filled the running back position. I think this team's, I'm not going to say drawing dead, but like some really funky shit has to happen for both Tyreek and Waddle to be optimal, and then Browning is optimal via, I don't know, 2 Tanner Hudson touchdowns, 2 Gesicki touchdowns. Like it.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, the one thing you can say is nobody's going to double stack for the most part. Browning and put out a good team. He can run a little bit. I don't know. It's not improbable, but I like our team better with the stack for sure.
Okay, should we go full game environment here and take Mason Taylor and then scroll at the flex position?
Yeah, that's fine.
What would you pick on your lonesome?
I think I would my ranks would probably take Mason Taylor. But Malik Washington, I think I'm going to have a ton of.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been on the field quite a bit.
Yeah, and he's been out there a decent amount. More so than Westbrook Akine if you want to do like a contrarian scroll there. Just looking at the utilization report stuff here. 66% of routes, 15% target per route run. Really low ADOT, which is kind of to be expected with his body type and archetype of player. Also gives you the out to score a touchdown on special teams. And like literally 6 points from your flex tonight might win the contest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tonight's going to be really interesting. I feel like it's going to be a chop fest, but who knows?
We could do the double tight end build. We haven't talked about it at all here if you believe in Waller and we just want to onslaught the Miami game. We could also do Washington, as you said, or we could scroll further.
Man, what's your heart tell you?
Probably Waller just because of the combinatorial.
Okay.
And like it plays into the thesis and then you just play one game environment opposed to like trying to pick like a Samaje Perine dump off TD as the only Bengals score on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting team. We didn't talk about double tight end. I think it's like a really bad slate for double tight end, but if everybody else feels that way, maybe that's what wins.
I suppose anything can happen on this slate, but yeah, I think double tight end is, I mean, like, yeah, the flex is pretty weak here, but also double tight end might be weaker, you know?
Right. Yeah. We get a friends and family room here with some true sickos, so we'll see where the field is lined up. The Gales in here, Car Park and Awin, all renowned players on the site here. Yeah, taking 2 tight ends on this is a crime, but like combinatorially, man, it might be under 10%. And if you just fall into the end zone or like the tight end 2 has 5 fantasy points and it's a low scoring slate, I don't know, man. It is a very, very strange slate because of the lack of the lack of creativity in the perception of the scroll options, you know?
Yeah, like I fully agree. I think 2 tight end is bad.
Yeah.
I will give you at the same time, we were looking between like Malik Washington, Josh Reynolds, or Darren Waller. Like I can't tell you with my full chest that those guys are much better picks.
Right. Yeah. We roll the same draft slot again. You want to try something different, or do you want to roll it back with Brees?
No, let's try Garrett Wilson.
Sure. Yeah, I like kind of doing this and then seeing what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to execute in a room that doesn't have all these sickos with badges and stuff where you can try and get like Chase Brown at pick 10. But that is legitimately my favorite build type thus far.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm living and dying with Malik Washington today. Let me check. I've got Solver looking at my teams. No, it's not as bad as I thought.
Okay.
I wonder. I need to do a refresh here and see, because I thought for sure I would have a ton of Malik Washington, but I'm not sure what my flex is being filled with if not Malik. So this is
Right.
interesting.
Do you want to play the chase and then get the other stuff, or do you want to play Cortland Sutton as a tier above and opens us up to Bo Nix as well?
No, we got to take Chase Brown here. That's the thesis, isn't it? You don't want to get locked out of running back, like.
Yeah, I mean the thesis is you push it around the corner and you're a superhero. But yes, in this room, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Nice.
I don't have that kind of risk tolerance.
How you make the super teams out here, big dog. I think we're both going to be in agreement that Tyreek Hill then becomes the tier break.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a good start.
Yeah, this is kind of the start I've been trying to replicate, where the player on the end does the stack, and then you end up like winning the flex by having 3 like this.
I'm figuring out quickly. I need more Mason Taylor. I'm picking that up getting strong. I need more Mason Taylor vibes. I've been just like not even ranking tight end, and
whatever comes.
Yeah, and whatever's coming is Darren Waller 40% of the time.
Like drafting a last second inactive and then swapping to the Nets is how you make a super team. AK Kenny Gainwell. Yeah, this is kind of what you always get left with, Nez. So Mason Taylor, Evan Ingram, who do you prefer?
I think Evan Ingram here.
All right. The Joker, who is yet to be utilized like the Joker.
I think we might have been lied to about that.
Yeah, old Sean Payton talking through his teeth, huh? Mason Taylor goes there. Very standard rooms thus far. I honestly think my favorite differentiating technique right now, Nez, is going to be scroll at tight end and take Troutman or Sample or Tanner Hudson and just hope that's the touchdown scorer, or that fractions of fantasy points is better than the fractions of fantasy points at the tight end position.
I love it. Like you could get a 0 from those guys and still probably ship.
Right. I think this is Tua here.
Yeah, I can't make much of like a better case for a flex player there.
Yeah. And now I think
we have Tyreek Hill.
And now I think we scroll.
Okay. Man, Car Park going RJ Harvey early. I mean, I know there's not a whole lot of guys left, but
Double running back for the same team. That's an interesting combinatorial play there, where you do Harvey and Dobbins from the same team. You play that game as like, blowout through the run, and then you play like the other game scores the points.
I've got some double running back teams like that, but yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have our choice here. Schmo saying that either Gordon or Allen as the running back. I think either work on this team. I think either are the best available play on this team. Do you have a preference?
Probably Braylon.
Okay. And that pairs better than Ollie pairs with Tua?
I think so.
Okay.
Ollie doesn't have much of a receiving role. It doesn't look like.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good to me. Jack saying just got an Achane plus Wilson plus Fields start. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Fields was sliding earlier in the day in rooms where quarterbacks trying to push it. JGFC saying Mathology was a Mason Taylor guy late in the draft season. Joey saying he got the absolute nut combo in the single entry contest. And then he had his choice between stacking Tua with Achane or Browning with both the Cincinnati pass catchers. Which would you have done in that instance, Des?
The choice of stacking Tua with Achane or Browning with both. Oh, I would have gone Browning, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think when you do double pass catchers, I know that we're like trying to encapsulate like trailing script and throwing to the running back stuff with HN like greatly, but like I think when you have both the Cincinnati Bengals pass catchers, you're gonna need a touchdown from both, or you're gonna need north of 10 points from both in your flex. That like Browning becomes the closest to optimal.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what he did. He doesn't even need our advice. Unbelievable. This is interesting from Nick saying Marvin Mims or swap is probably the answer. Marvin Mims is just, he's such a wild card on this slate because comparative to anybody else down there at the flex position, like nobody really profiles like Marvin Mims does. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, low volume but potential slate break on like one screen or one high ADOT play. Like the knock on Marvin Mims last year was everything was behind the line of scrimmage, everything was short, the ADOT was low, and if for a guy who was playing low snaps and low amount of routes run, that was kind of a gross combination. That's kind of flipped this year where his ADOT is even higher than Troy Franklin, and Troy Franklin has become that low ADOT guy. So if we're thinking about the Marvin Mims role this year versus last year, it's a way more enticing scroll the F down click in the last round to ceiling shot with Marvin Mims.
Yeah, he like there's just, I think with if you take Mims, you're almost like hoping he sits.
Interesting. You want the leverage more than you want the Mims role.
And the Mims roll at cheap is definitely nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just want an excuse to take Pat Bryant, but then that's the only way I would ever do it.
You want to get excited about Pat Bryant for reasons?
That's the only way.
Yeah. Nick's saying there's no better get right spot than Bengals defense if he plays. That's so true. Cool. Couple good drafts there. Couple great winner circle guests there. We could do a little pick 'em stuff here, Nez.
Yeah. Let's get in these pick 'em streets. See what we can do.
Okay. I'm going to bring up the unabated stuff behind the paywall here for a second. Take a look at some of the stuff that's popping with a couple projection sets. Yeah, let's do one from the Stones, from the Cojones to start first.
Okay.
All right. Do we like, I think we both like the first Miami game environment more, right? Like if we had to rank out what we like this evening, it's like playing Miami pass catchers to score points, playing Jets to be densely concentrated, and then playing Broncos get right spot. That's kind of like the thesis of the evening.
Right.
Now, how does that materialize itself in our game?
Well, I mean, from a thesis standpoint, I think I like Garrett Wilson hires.
Okay.
I think the cleanest one you can get is receiving yards, but you could maybe do a reception slide, but we'll just use like the base projections here. And I think I would throw my hat in the ring for receiving yards higher.
Okay. Seems good. I think if you paired that with a Justin Fields touchdown, that might be slightly negatively correlated. How about Gesicki with the receptions, just with no Noah Fant and just like trailing script?
What's it at?
Can't find it now. Two and a half.
My
Man,
my gut says that that's a lot.
Yeah. But if they throw 30 times again,
right.
Hardy likes Gesicki receptions?
But what is so you said Jesus, these guys are gonna make me absolutely blow my brains out outside. I'm trying to. You said Chase Brown looks good tonight per Michael Leone's projection.
Yeah.
How good? How good?
How good? Second highest projected running back on the slate, 14 fantasy points on the F redacted. Higher than Brees, higher than J.K. Dobbins. I don't have the full breakdown projections out yet.
13 and a half PPR projection. That's interesting. His fantasy point projection's like 12.3 on Underdog, 12.45 on Underdog.
Yeah.
To me, I would just like my gut take on that Chase Brown fantasy points projection was a lower.
Okay. Well, let's go with the gut. How do you like this as a first start? And then we'll run the Garrett Wilson back with the Chase Brown stuff.
All right, so we got Garrett Wilson yards, Gesicki receptions,
Yep.
and
Justin
then
Fields rushing yards.
okay,
That seems fun.
okay.
Okay. And then Garrett Wilson was your favorite of that bunch. So from the Cajonas one, we run back the Garrett Wilson one. We take out the Gesicki and the Justin Fields, which were giving you pause. You liked Chase Brown as the lower on the fantasy points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Unabated likes higher on Brees Hall rushing yards.
What's that at?
54.5 according to Unabated right now. So dumb. There we go. That's a nice little 6.5. We do the Garrett Wilson one again. We do the Brees rushing yards and then the Chase Brown lower.
Okay.
You like it?
Yeah, give me 1 second to confirm that. I'll also say I like J.K. Dobbins lower fantasy points in the Pick 'em lobby as well.
Do you
14.
want to add it to this or do you want to play it in lieu of something else?
I just want to check these Brees Hall numbers. So we got it at 54. Yeah, I like the higher on that. Okay. Let's run this one that you got in here.
Uh-huh.
Just because, like, for the people, I'd prefer giving them a pick 3. Just plays better.
All right. Higher on Garrett Wilson again. Lower on Chase Brown. Higher on Brees Hall. Brees combo yards. Get your Mr. Good Boys in the chat. The full flop is in effect. Sutton, TD. Our guy, the resident slide expert, Len Keith. Brees on the receiving yards. Achan on the reception slide.
I mean, I'm in.
Slide the receiving yards up. He said 49.5.
Yeah.
And then the Achan.
8.5.
8.5 on the catches.
Sure.
Reminder, he did get the super slides home on the weekend.
That's what he does.
He is the slide king. All right. Dropping that one in the chat there. Yeah, that's fire. Just a good boy. Damn right. The Gale, who was in our previous draft, can't wait for the random Alan Lazard nuke to flip the slate upside down. Be the most conceivable thing in the world. Lazard's usage has not been great, but it's so conceivable. Sutton TD, Brees combo yards, field rushing. Yeah. I'm looking at some of the unabated stuff right now. They like T. Higgins lowers. This is using the blitz stuff. T. Higgins lowers on both the receiving yards and the receptions, but they're very, very close. They're in agreement with you on the J.K. Dobbins lower rushing yards, though, not fantasy points.
I've got a Galbrain one that I want to put out there.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so this is on the whole, I like Chase Brown lower fantasy points, but here's one that I'd like to play because Chase Brown does project well. I think that projection is coming from the usage, and the usage I think can lend him to scoring touchdowns. So here's what I would like to do, John. Okay. I want to do 2 Chase Brown touchdowns
of
because he's correct. It's going to be the tippy top first one.
Oh, the combo one, yeah.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns. And I want to pair this with Bo Nix INT, where we kind of seen a shaky start from Bo Nix. And, if they get off to an early lead, he continues to press, play poorly. INT lends itself to Chase Brown tutty. This is how I'd like to play it.
Okay. That's fun. Fun thesis. INT deep in their own territory. Love it. Scrolling H-hand to the tippy top too. That's a fun thesis there from Nez. Franklin, longest reception. That's only going to age better if you end up getting Mims out and the A-dot expands a little bit. Super slide is always sick. Damn right.
Always.
If we cook anything else up, I will always drop it in the Discord for the people there. Nez, I think people are wondering here. I'm going to direct them to going to RJ Harvey receiving yards. Gavin's saying that's kind of a fun idea.
Damn,
that's Galbrain. Boys out here cooking. Sutton TD does feel good. Tuna's all over the Sutton TD one.
That's fun.
Yeah. Jets has asked a couple times here. Pennant questions. Yes, shoot me a message. Let's go. Ask your questions, my friend. But yeah, Pennant's gonna fill pretty quick here. Let me take a look at the lobbies. Take a look at the baseball. We are at 82% in the Pennant. I'm not gonna lie, I was in there this morning, absolutely cooking Mariners stuff, just because I want Mariners stuff in the portfolio to have a little fun. I'm going to drop that in the chat for everybody there. That is the sheet created by Chris, a.k.a. Baseball. I believe he jumped on the Pennant show last night. I did not watch it yet. But with you guys there, Nez, he jumped on with Dark Sheep as well?
I did, yeah. I was on there for like an hour.
Yeah, we got you. But Chris as well?
I wasn't there for Chris. I'm not sure if Chris ended up making it on.
Okay. Well, that's his sheet there. You guys can check out Nez. Jumped on last night, did some drafts there. Anything you want to direct people towards in the Pennant?
I think way more onslaughting. Like you get 12 rounds in the Pennant. I would take 10 of like one team and just, get there and hope you have an opposing team that also smashes. I'm way more of a proponent of doing that this season with a lot of like different low-owned teams. Like you can do that with 10 Tigers. Tigers make a run. I just think that it's not the craziest thing in the world to do with the wild card teams, especially never with a bye team. Yeah, and I think if you're going to do 2 buys together, because there's 4 different bye week teams that you can choose from.
Yeah.
And you're going to pair them together to meet in the World Series. I would say a minimum of like 4 players that don't have buys to help get you across, because it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really, really hard. It's only 1 out of 6, I believe, unless it's 2 out of 6 and I've been bamboozled. But even then, that's going to be difficult.
No. You have not been bamboozled. It's 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6, and then a 3-12.
Yeah. So you got to be mindful of that, but it's not impossible. Dodgers go really early. Yankees go early, but I think the best pick on the board, especially if you're building Yankees, you can backdoor Yankees really easily. Just have an infielder from an NL team that you want, but like Cam Schlittler and Trent Grisham being available so cheap for the Yankees is just really easy.
Okay. Good shouts on the backstack guys there. Yeah, I think I'd keep an eye on rotations too, like nailing down who's going to pitch when, like Pavetta's going to pitch.
Great point.
Yeah, like we don't know if Woo's going to be ready, but we know Garrett Crochet is going to pitch tomorrow. We know that Pennant's going to pitch tomorrow. We know that Scooball got the Sunday off so that he's going to pitch game 1. So the value of those guys goes up ever so slightly. Blake Snell is the 3rd drafted Dodgers pitcher, but he's going to start game 1. So there's some leverage there.
How awesome would it be if Green and Lodolo just come out here and just like bang, bang, shut the Dodgers down? God, that would just, I'd be foaming at the mouth if they end up doing the damn thing.
Nobody's drafted Reds whatsoever. And okay, let me hit you with this. I saw this earlier today. Someone posted it in one of my baseball chats here. I can't give any credit because I don't know where the screenshot came from. So sorry if this is your tweet. The Reds are the first team in MLB history to have no hitter hit over 270, no hitter to have 25 home runs, no pitcher to win 15 games, and no pitcher to have 200 strikeouts in a non-shortened season to make the playoffs.
NL Central baseball, baby.
Fucking crazy.
Catch it. Catch the fever.
In Great American Small Park. And Great American Small Park, bad for hitting now, all of a sudden.
I was told Ellie De La Cruz is Babe Ruth. That's interesting.
Holy shit. Guys, here's the playoff bracket. So when you're pairing teams together, like I know Jet's question in the chat here with the Pennant, like, can you do like Toronto plus Milwaukee? And then how would your third team advance? So like Toronto plus Milwaukee, you're probably best to start with Seattle or not Seattle, sorry, to start with Detroit or the Guardians, or to backstack with Detroit or the Guardians, because like that upper left bracket just looks so wide open, you know?
Yeah.
Like that upper left bracket looks so effing wide open, right? Like Guardians come on late. These guys just played last week. You know, Detroit fell off. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems wide open to me. I think if you were like leveraging stuff right now, like Garrett Crochet, man, he's the best pitcher in baseball like all year, basically. He's going to win AL Cy Young. And he just, you know, he gets the Yankees, and he has been lights out against the Yankees a couple times this year. So if they steal game 1 there, I mean, I'm not in love with Giolito or Brian Bayo pitching the next game, and we all want to play Yankees offense. But like, just Boston as a complete upset pick there. Cubs are fucking free because they fell off the planet at the end of the season there a little bit. But like PCA 30-30 guy, you know, Trey Tucker is every bit of Kyle Tucker is every bit of a first round talent type player. So if you want to play free Cubs and just flip the build on that Padres series, by all means. Yeah, man. What anyone else you want to give some shout outs to?
Man, the Blue Jays just do not seem like a number 1 seed, do they?
I mean, the AL feels so wide open, man.
I know. It really does. Yeah, I think it's like, yeah. Here's the two things I think can happen. Well, a million things can happen. I just really think it's Seattle's AL. I think it's their league to lose. Yes. Super well-rounded, sick rotation, sick lineup. They really set themselves up to win. I think they did about everything they could have to put themselves in a position to advance. So I've got them coming out of the AL. Yankees are going to be tough. The devil magic of the AL Central could come to play, but I don't think those teams are beating the Mariners, man. The Mariners seem really dialed. So
Yeah, let
Yeah.
the Mariners get rested here and let Brian Wu be available. And like to go to Seattle where like offense dies with two teams that aren't that crazy good offensively. Like Cleveland's a tough matchup because they don't strike out a ton. But like, they're I don't see how Mariners pitching isn't like the biggest stamp of approval getting 3 games at home.
I know. The only problem is like the Guardians are going to get like George Valera putting up like a 600 slug in the postseason. It's just like, what are you
It's
to do?
inevitable, man. Chase Delarde coming back up, dude.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're in trouble.
Hero Chase.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble if that happens. But yeah.
Yeah, just be mindful in pairing your buy teams and making sure you have some push through teams alongside it. Like I know I have some like dead teams, one in which I drafted on stream that's just like Milwaukee and Seattle. And it's like, it's not dead, but it's like you need both. You need every wild card series to be low scoring and only 2 games. And then you need the ALDS to be like insane and 5 games long for those guys to score for you.
Yeah, the bye weeks are really hard to pair. But I mean, I don't think many people really are drafting Brewers. And I don't think a lot of people are drafting Blue Jays either.
Yeah. I mean, Blue Jays go decently because they're propped up by Vlad's ADP. One thing I will say about Blue Jays is scroll the F down, man. Like Bo Bichette may or may not be ready. They think he's going to be ready. But like scroll the F down if you're doing Blue Jays because Santander is buried and everybody just takes Varsho instead. So there's an easy like flip one. And then take Addison Barger, man. Like, as long as they don't face Garrett Crochet in the second round and face a lefty, like, it might be bad if they face the Yankees and have to face 2 lefties, like in Fried and Rodon. That's bad for Barger, but they probably still just leave him in there. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting stuff here. Nobody has Reds in their portfolio. If you want to be the Reds guy and just flip the build, if you want to pair like Detroit and the Reds, like be my guest. If you want to put the Cubs and the Guardians together, nobody's fucking doing it. They all take a third team at the top there. Nobody wants to be those guys. So if you're only doing like 5 to 10 bullets, like 2 wildcard teams, 2 opposite sides, 7 and 5 builds or 8 and 4 builds, or as Nez said, like you could do 10 if you want.
Yeah, just onslaught and get and just call your shot on a team.
Yeah,
yeah, should be fun, man. I love the postseason. It's a bit of a weird postseason. I don't know why. It just has like a very strange, wide open feel to it. Other than Dodgers being somewhat inevitable, but they don't have an easy road. I will say. Yeah, it's a weird postseason. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Some timeline stuff like Dodgers, like Will Smith and Max Muncy kind of tracking to be okay, but in particular, Max Muncy, he's the better of those 2 picks because he looks like he'll for sure be ready. But nobody's scrolling at Dodgers. Like if they're without Will Smith for a while, and like you can get like multiple games of rushing, I don't know, just a way to flip the build. Yeah.
Yeah, Muncy seems like very discounted, which makes him a pretty great pick.
I haven't been doing 5 pitcher builds, but I get the thesis. I know baseball likes some 5 pitcher builds there. My biggest thing is just trying to encapsulate the 2 start guys. So if I'm building Dodgers, I'm prioritizing Blake Snell because I know he's getting the front end start. I'm prioritizing Garrett Crochet. I'm prioritizing Scooball. I'm prioritizing Logan Gilbert because he's going to be one of the first 2 starters. Like if I'm doing Mariners, I take Gilbert before I take Wu because I know he's going to be getting at least those 2 start ones. So yeah, that's the stuff that I've been thinking about is prioritizing. Like if I'm doing Blue Jays, you like have to have Gosman kind of deal because he's been incredible down the stretch and he's going to encapsulate 2 starts. I'd be more concentrated on 4 pitchers and getting the front end 2 start guys than I would be 5 starters because there's guys who are going to get jumped, man.
Yeah, 5 pitchers is pretty much only like a 2-buy thing for me.
Yeah.
John, I don't know if you saw the Pirates are running back the Ben Cherington era. My question for you is, Are you ready for the Nashville Pirates in 2030? Are you ready?
Please, no, dude. That's one of the most iconic ballparks. I
Oh,
don't want to lose PNC.
They're as good as gone, man. I don't know how anybody can give a fuck about that team.
Oh, no.
I've never seen such a bold face lack of trying in any sport than the Pirates in what they've done. I mean, you know me and my Pirates, like they got me to I don't care about this team. I'm just like, I'm done. I'm literally done, man. So, Connor Griffin should be a lot of fun. They get essentially, the cheapest labor possible out of their studs, and it's a joke, dude. It's a total joke. So yeah, 2030, their lease is up in Pittsburgh, and I couldn't care less at this point if they're there or not.
Oh, that's so gross, dude. You hate to see that.
It's too bad.
Man. Yeah, that is too bad. Yeah, MLB has some big problems like that, man.
They got issues for sure.
Yeah, like the Athletics, like intentionally giving up and then pushing on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, just like the Oath Again Athletics. Yeah, it's gross. One other thing that I just want to say on pitching before we tie a bow on it here, guys, if you are super sick about this, you can walk through the schedule and you could see where the off days are, where it'll guarantee that four-man rotations will be shortened to 3, or they could do like 2s and then a bullpen game and then an extended starter game, kind of thing like that. So I just wanted to just share that with everybody that it's kind of evident that okay, Seattle doesn't play for like a week, and then they start on the 4th, which is like what, 5, 6, 7 days from now, something like that. And then they play 2 games at home, and then they have an off day and then the travel day. So in theory, the way the rest schedule will set up is game 4, they can easily just have a 3-man rotation is basically what I'm saying. So just thinking out loud with some of these things, right?
Right. Yeah. It's something to think about. A lot of these guys a lot of these teams have some interesting rotations going on.
Yeah. And for the record, I would accept the Pirates in Vancouver. I would. I'll be the first to say, Ben, if you're listening, send the Pirates to Vancouver. I will buy season tickets right now on this program to watch Jack Sawinski strike out 186 times. Yes.
Dude, Bob Nutting is cheaper than anybody you know in your life. You think he wants to take the team to Vancouver when he hears about the price to live in Vancouver? Hell no, buddy.
That's so true. Oh, man. All right. Good shit, Nez. We had some great guests today. That was a lot of fun. Another Smash Winner Circle. The Winner Circle, it started as kind of like a gimmicky, fun little idea 2 years ago, and we occasionally got a guest. And now it's becoming hey, we get the VR champion and we get 2 Dog Bowl guys every fucking time. So it's become super awesome for us. Such a good way to give you guys some exposure, to give you guys something to strive for, and also for us to meet members of the community. So fun.
It's been a hit, man. Really, really love the way Winter Circles have turned out this year. Love everybody's desire to show up and be a part of it. So it's a lot of fun, man. Appreciate all of our guests that we've had so far this season. Yeah,
big shouts to JD in 3S and I'm blanking on the screen name for Ty. How do I say
Tubinis.
it? Tubinis. There we go. Tubinis. Love it. Love it. I'm gonna butcher that one forever now.
I know.
Big shout out for the 50 Badge Bros memberships here. Joshua with his big win there, gifting out the 5. Love that so much. Thank you guys so much for that. We'll make good on it later in the week here. TBD on tomorrow what we're going to do, guys, because it is a multi-sport week, but there's also playoff baseball on during the day. So the slate will be kind of filling for us. So yeah, we'll talk about it behind closed doors and get back to you guys tomorrow. But probably some multi-sport draft league content for a Tuesday. And then the definitive preview will be on Wednesday there. Best of luck for everybody in the Monday Night Football Palooza streets here. All of the Battle Royale and Dog Bowl are up for week 5 already. So if you guys want to jump in those streets, by all means. All right, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.